Let me ask a very simple question. Very simple question. How can Jake Tapper or anybody else on CNN in particular, forget not just CNN, but MSDNC and others, how can they actually go on every day and not know anything about the world? Let me ask you, how can that be? There wouldn't be allowed a person to opine unended regarding, let's say, football, American football, soccer, whatever it is, unless they really understood what was going on. They would be drummed out of the core. They would be removed from any type of commentary position. But when it comes to CNN in particular and MSDNC, they used to be solely the mouthpiece and the stooge and the surrogates for Hillary, the evil queen. But now they're part of this anti-Russian, pro-terrorism, dare I say, you're not going to believe this, New World Order, pro-Turkey, pro-NATO. I mean, do they even know what I'm even referring to? Because probably not. I'll bet you anything. If I went right now to Columbus Circle and went to the CNN facilities and walked in and said, listen, attention, do any of you people have the slightest idea of what you're talking about regarding Syria? Do any of you want to explain to me what your understanding is regarding terrorism? Who are these people? Is there anybody here who could even remotely tell me what these people are about? Is there anyone here who can tell me this? Anyone, please, I beg you, I ask you. Does anybody understand what the FSA, Free Syrian Army, is? What the white helmets are? I mean, do you understand how this is part of a globalist, if you will, NATO-inspired move for regime change? Do you understand that what you're saying about Syria is a lie? Do you understand that you have absolutely no understanding of what's going on in Aleppo? And what you are doing is you are actually acting as, and I would say, not deliberately, because you don't do anything deliberately, because you're dupes, you're mouthpieces, but you're propagandists. This is anti-Assad regime change nonsense. That's exactly what's going on here. And believe me when I tell you this, they will sit there and they will say, what are you talking about? I would say, because nobody's there on the ground. You're not listening to anybody. You're repeating the same nonsense, the same blather, the same prattle. You're prating this nonsense, this a la dreck that New York Times, Washington Post, and others, and forget Huffington Post. Well, you once and for all realize Huffington Post is a bulletin board. Huffington Post, anybody can post for Huffington Post. It's no big deal. Just post right away. It doesn't matter. Ariana Huffington made a mint. She doesn't give a damn about this thing. Just write stuff. Nobody works there. They're basically breaking down operations. They had a wonderful little TV, HuffPo Live, which is pretty good. I was on a couple of times. They had a nice crew, a nice staff. They were working for slave wages. They're nothing. It doesn't exist anymore. Huffington Post does not exist. It's a Potemkin village. It's just people, slave labor folks who were kind of there doing something, I don't know what. Daily Kos reads that dreck. I mean, seriously. I don't know how to tell you this other than this. You are actually Jake Tapper, Chris Cuomo, you, Don Lemon, Carol Costello, CNN, MSDNC, Rachel Maddow. I don't know. I thought you'd be smarter than this. I thought you'd know a little bit more about this. But what you're doing is you're basically acting as a surrogate, as a stooge, as a front for globalists who are seeking regime change. And what they do is they want regime change. They want Assad out. You don't understand what's going on. You don't understand who these people are. The West, about 100 nations, are basically funding and acting as paymasters to these individuals, these terrorists who are destroying these folks and these people. It's that simple. Do you have any idea of the responsibility that you owe by providing this disinformation? This is journalistic malpractice. You are the enemy. You are the enemy. You blame the Russians. What happens is you got so many goddamn stupid Americans who don't know anything about this. And you know and I know how they are. They don't read. They don't read anything. They got people who are still upset over the Hillary Clinton loss because it's not really Hillary Clinton losing. It's because Trump won, because they hate Trump. Because Trump was dynamic, forceful. He defined the election. It was all about him. And you didn't win against him. He made you look like fools. He was boorish. He laughed at you. He mocked you. You couldn't handle it. You couldn't handle this. So instead, what do? What did you do? You basically just you funneled all of your attention towards him. You never one time ever had anything to do with Hillary Clinton. You never. Let me ask you this question. You know how Trump said, "Make America Great Again"? Okay. What would Hillary's motto be? What would her shibboleth be? Make America what? Forget again. Make America what? Tell me what her platform was. Tell me what her precept, her functionality. Tell me what it is that she wanted to do. What? You can't. She never had anything. This was an entitled evil queen who came up through the ranks, who basically, through some kind of weird self-appointment, through some weird apotheosis, beatification, canonization, elevation, whatever you want to call it, she told you, I'm going to be president, and I don't need no stinking position. I don't need no stinking platform. I don't need to know about issues. I'm Hillary Clinton. God damn it, just vote for me. Vote for me. I'm not going to follow the rules. I'm not going to follow rules about the servers. I'm not going to follow rules about pay to play. I'm not going to follow rules about anything. I'm going to do whatever I want to do. I'm not going to answer your emails. I'm not going to, your subpoenas and the like. I'm not going to honor them. And you're not going to do anything. You're not going to indict me. You're not going to charge me with contempt of Congress. Nothing. IRS. Nobody's going to go after me. Nobody's going to go after me, Bill, the Clinton Foundation, the Clinton Global Initiative, or CHI, the Clinton Health Access Initiative. And you're not going to go after Chelsea, who made, $600K a year, doing what exactly? Let's look back. Let's go back and look at Chelsea Clinton's broadcast career. Please tell me what it was. Please. Did you ever see her? Did you ever see her on TV ever? What was she being paid for? What is she, like farmers who are paid not to grow things? Is this like a no-show job with a mob? What was she paid for? What did she do? I don't get it. I don't understand it. This is so amazing. When this shooter in Turkey was yelling basically Islamic chants, references, Allahu or Allah Akbar, basically making every form of Islamic reference there is. Now, look, I'm not trying to tell you that all Muslims are terrorists. You know it and I know it. I'm not going to argue whether it's the religion of peace or... I'm not into that at all. But people like Jake Tapper, CNN, and Carol Costello, and Chris Cuomo, and Don Lemon, all these other people, they don't know what to do. To them, they have never understood who are these people. Who's Erdogan? Who's Turkey? This is the paymaster. This is the guy, along with his daughter and his son. Where have you been? You know who's been instrumental in this thing? You know who's been instrumental in going after ISIS and Nusra, which is really Al Qaeda? Russia. But you've just phoned it in. You have no responsibility. You've believed every single thing there was about Russia. You never ask any questions because you've got the intellectual sophistication of a gnat. You don't understand what's going on. You don't know how this thing works. You are so afraid, so scared because your ratings are nothing. You're on fumes. There are people listening to baby monitors who have more ratings than you do. You're awful. You're terrible. Jake Tapper, quit. Do yourself a favor. Do all of us a favor. Why are you here? Why are you wasting our time? What is your goal? What is it? To just what? Get the Christmas bonus? To hang on? To have a gig? Is that what you're doing? Do you have any idea of what you're talking about, who you are, what you are in relation to the rest of the world? I mean, do you really honestly grasp this idea of what your responsibility is? Do you? I don't think so. I'm really not getting the idea that you truly understand who you are and what you're supposed to be doing. We have this, and we've never had it. When it comes to American mainstream media, we've never had this idea of how things work, of who people are, who the good guys are, who the bad guys are, and even that mentality, good guys and bad guys. We have this ridiculous, silly, Manichaean, black and white, apodictic, left and right, good versus evil, up versus down, this two-sided version of all of this nonsense. It is unseemly. It is absolutely, without a doubt, unseemly. It is so infantile, juvenescent. It's ridiculous. We have children who are manufacturing and producing and relaying this fiction regarding how the world works. Jake Tapper in particular, have you no shame? I mean, do you really understand what you're doing? Do you really understand how this thing works? Do you understand who these people are behind the terrorism, in particular in Saudi Arabia, in Syria? Excuse me, Saudi Arabia too is another story. I mean, if you look at the independent journalists and those individuals who are on the air, brave, intrepid, absolutely, just the most incredible young people in particular who are doing the greatest journalism ever, and you dare to even darken the portals of CNN and others by repeating this dreck? I don't understand it. Hillary Clinton's not going anywhere lately. Let me tell you what she's up to. You must understand this. Hillary Clinton is an animal of politics, but also money. Her money's dried up. You don't understand. She gets no fees anymore. There is no connection. Hillary Clinton is doomed. The Clinton war machine, the Clintoni crime family. There's nothing. I mean, the money's dried up. Nobody wants Chelsea. Nobody wants Bill. Something's wrong with him. I don't know if he has Alzheimer's, dementia, whatever it is, but he is not well. He's getting older. The Bill of yore is gone. The comeback kid is the bye-bye Gramps. All right? It's gone. He doesn't have it anymore. He sounds like somebody just kicked him either in the nuts or the lavans or the gut. Here's this thing, more talking about this thing, Hillary Clinton. I'll tell you what. And he had that stupid rictus, that maw, that ridiculous Hillary Clinton. And she's doing this nonsense about showing up in woods around Chappaqua. Are you kidding me? I mean, look, I mean, I know it. You know it. The other night they had her at the Carlisle. There was a singer, Terrell or whatever. And he was doing different things. Anyway, so they had this moment where it was Hillary and Bill at the Carlisle. Are you kidding? Next thing you know, it's in page 6. Everything they do is about Hillary. Now, I understand a lot of people do that. The Kardashians do that. People do it. It's about the brand, and I understand it. But Hillary Clinton needs a gig. And now she's talking about maybe running for New York mayor. I know that sounds crazy. I know that sounds strange. She needs something. You don't understand. The feeder system, the money for the Clinton Foundation is gone now. There's nothing. Do you understand that? There's no Hillary. There's nothing there. There's no more Goldman Sachs money. There's nothing. And people are coming out of the woodwork all of a sudden turning their back on her because they realize what a fraud and a phony she is. And they've given the okay. They've been given the okay from the leaders, from Zucker on down, that it's okay. She's toast. She's yesterday's news, because they will turn on you so fast. There's no loyalty anymore. This is a woman who, I cannot tell you this enough. I cannot say this enough. And you think I'm exaggerating, you think I'm being hyperbolic. This woman is a criminal. She is the quintessential sociopath. This is a woman who has waited for this, and she's desperate, and she's trapped, and she realized the end is nigh. And she's like a rat trapped in a corner, and she's going to come after you because she realizes that's it. And Donald Trump came along, and he is barreling through this and doesn't give a rat's ass what you or anybody else says. Do you understand what a threat that is? Do you have any idea of how this thing works? Now, by the way, the other day he was meeting with Carlos Slim and Bezos and all of the people who hate his guts. Do you know what makes him Donald Trump? What makes him the billionaire that he is? What he's really, what he gets it. He's been in business. He puts that aside. It's a work. It's the way it is. Let bygones be bygones. Like John Kennedy said, forgive your enemies, but never forget their names. And that's what he's doing. And he's in charge right now. And every single day that goes by, every day, every moment, people are trying desperately to put any story up at all about anything. The Trump sons are selling access. They're going to bring up this nonsense about hunting trophy animals again. Anything goes. He's crazy. He's a psychopath. And Trump is thinking, I'm not even listening to you anymore. It doesn't matter. Look how many people he's appointed. Look how many people he has appointed so far in the short amount of time it took, remember, 8 weeks for Ronald Reagan to pick anybody. And what he's doing is you're going to see something that is, I mean, even the Boeing deal where he says, I'm not going to pay for whatever $1 billion for this plane. No, we're going to do it again. Why was that the way it was? Because with Hillary Clinton, she told you, I'm rubber stamping this. I'm Hillary Clinton. I know how to play this. I'm a globalist shill, a puppet, and a warmonger. Military-industrial complex, Wall Street, Goldman Sachs, name it. Big money, big corporations. I'm signing right here. You gave me the money, you're in. And Trump is saying, not so fast. Not so fast. Not so sure about this. And I like having billionaires in there. I like having a Wilbur Ross. I like having others in there. And the reason why is simply this. Because when you get trailer trash, redneck, hee-haw, hayseed, podunk, yucks, like Hillary Clinton, who never made a buck in their life, those are the ones who sell you and everybody down the river. This is the same woman who, by the way, remember this? Stealing from the White House? What? Art, paintings, silverware? Jesus Christ. Are you out of your mind? Let me also explain something to you. And this is the most important. My friend, terrorism is a work. It is a work. It's the boogeyman. It's the straw man. It's what you need to hear for you to go nuts. And when you hear something, when you hear terrorism, when you hear about Berlin, or you hear about Turkey, or anybody else for that matter, you're going to go crazy. 9/11 showed us that. Look what happened on Wednesday. Remember, there was Tuesday was 9/11. Wednesday, we were talking about changing everything. Suspending the Bill of Rights, suspending individual liberties, suspending privacy. Oh my God, the Patriot Act, it didn't matter. We went into Iraq and Afghanistan and Barack Obama, who, by the way, I got to say this first. How much of a lightweight is this guy to take the holiday now? He can't wait to get out of there. He's got to go play golf now. He's going to be gone by the 20th. He's gone. He's through now. He could spend the last moment, the last vestige, the last, his curtain call, the victory lap, to act presidential, to be there. You can say, you know what? I'll have plenty of time for golf. And he's staying in Washington. He's staying. He's going to be the only one who's ever done that. Why? Because he's in it to subvert Donald Trump. That's exactly what he's doing. He's a Manchurian candidate. Remember, he's a shill. He was manufactured. There is no Barack Obama. There is no, nobody knows who he is, where he's from, or whatever. They don't know nothing. He came out of nowhere from I don't know. Maybe one day we'll figure out whether his father, CIA, was he groomed? Manchurian candidate. He came out of nowhere, did exactly what he was told, exactly what he was ordered to do, and you would think he would have enough smarts to sit there and say, I am not going to be seen on a golf course now, when I'm going to have the rest of my life playing golf or doing whatever the hell I want to do. No, I'm going to be here. I'm going to be talking about terrorism. I'm going to be talking about the holidays. I'm going to be making my pardons known. I'm going to be going on the shows, maybe doing the Oprah thing. And by the way, Michelle Obama, I've got no beef with you. I really don't, because let's face it, you're unimportant. You weren't elected. You're FLOTUS. As I've said, I like what you said about eating, and I like what you said about food. I like what you said about all that stuff. And, nobody else, they kind of laughed at you about that. But are you kidding talking about this dower? You should, do you not understand how things work? Do you not understand the work? Do you understand how image is crafted? What are you doing? What is it? Please tell me. What goes through your head? Do you not talk to people about image, about setting the way it looks, the goodbye, to look cooperative, to look like this is the greatest guy, to talk about how you have extended the courtesy to the new president, number 45, to sit, to help, to ensure that the transition, to fill him in, one president to another. You know, years ago there was a story about how Jimmy Carter, when he met with Ronald Reagan, Jimmy Carter was going to tell him basically, now here's what you got to know. This is very, very important. President to president, it's a very exclusive club because it's different. Here's my legacy. Here's what's going on. Here's some inside. By the way, be careful. Those are the cameras. That's the microphone, whatever it is, Bathroom's over here. The food is lousy, whatever. When he sat down, and this is the part, when he sat down, you ready? When he sat down with Ronald Reagan, Jimmy Carter reported later, he says, this guy never said anything. He never said anything. He did not understand. He did not understand the severity of this. He was like clueless. He was just acting or something. So you would think that Obama would tell people how he's meeting, how he's reaching out, how he is. Go back, review, tell us what you've done for the last 8 years. Tell us about how great things are. Tell us about you and your family and your kids. Steal the limelight, steal the thunder, steal the focus, steal the warmth of the Klieg lights, do whatever. But no, you again have these optics. And let me just tell you something. I will never understand. Why are you wearing short pants? Why are you doing this? Do you care? You're the same one who wears a stupid bicycle helmet when you ride a bike. Do you not understand? Don't wear shorts. Look like a pro. Look, you ever see a pro golfer wear shorts? Ever? I'm not saying be a Payne Stewart, but do you understand why they don't do it? Do you understand how this looks? You look like a little boy, like a kid. Why are you doing this? It makes the effort seem even more detached. Let me go back to something. Terrorism. Terrorism is a scam, it's a con, it's a work. It is manufactured, it is orchestrated. It is central casting. You name the group, I've got them. What do you want? Where do you want to go? I will guarantee you terrorists in any country, regardless of what you want. I will guarantee it. I will pay for them. Where do you want to go? You want Syria? Here's what we're going to do. We're going to send these people in. We're going to create Nusra. Not create, but it's the same group of people. Nusra, IS, ISIL, IS, Daesh, Khorasan, Boko Haram, Al-Nusra Front, Nusra, name it. There's others groups too. I thought I knew them all, but there's more, obviously. We send them in there. Central casting. What do you want? I'm going to tell Jake Tapper that this is an example of I can say whatever I want. I can say, tell them that's Assad. No, that's not Assad. Those are the terrorists. They're not going to know. Tell Jake Tapper that the reason why people are leaving, tell them they're fleeing Assad. Wait, but I can't do that. That's ridiculous. They're not fleeing Assad. I know. You know that. I know that. They don't know that. They don't know anything. They're not going to ask any questions. It's Jake Tapper. It's Chris Cuomo. It's Rachel Maddow. They don't know anything. You want me to tell them that the people who are leaving, who are running from Al-Qaeda, or actually Nusra, you want me to tell them that they're running from Assad? Yeah. And also tell them we don't want to prop up. I heard that one the other day. We're tired of propping up despots. What? Unbelievable. They're running not from Assad. Assad is their hero. Assad is their guy. The Syrian army is protecting them. Aleppo has been taken over by terrorists, not Assad. Remember that nonsense about the gassing in Ghouta? Oh, you fell for that one. You fell for that. That was unbelievable. The rest of the world says, the Americans think that Assad did that? No. Remember when the bodies were checked? I think Cy Hirsch might have even checked on this. The bodies were decomposing. You didn't understand that? Are you kidding me? I mean, there is nothing that these idiots will ever suspect or ever say, wait a minute, that's not, wait, no. The white helmets Who are they? Who are these people? Look at these relief efforts. Look at these people. Look at who is responsible. In fact, this is so important. I hate to make this noise. I hope it's not making that clicking noise. But this I'm sorry. I should have done this because I hate when people do this. But I want you to know this. This is another example of how people will. Oh my God! Look at this. George Clooney is behind white helmets, Syrian self-defense, civil defense, of the white helmets. Unbelievable. It's I read this, I'm thinking to myself, you're kidding. I'm going to show you this right now. And by the way, you see what I'm doing right now? It's just called the internet. This is called the internet. Do you understand how you have to immediately throw everything away that the mainstream media gives you and go towards this? This is... okay, just go. Stop right there. Because I'm getting to the end of this thing and I'm getting upset. You know... I guess the reason why it bothers me so much is that maybe it's because you don't want to admit you've been lied to. Maybe it's because you should have known better. Maybe you don't like somebody like me coming along and saying to you, this guy keeps telling me that I don't know what I'm talking about. He tells me 9/11, the official story, is no good. He talks about Vietnam. He keeps bringing up Tolstoy. History will be a wonderful thing if only it were true. Everything the guy tells me means I'm tired of this guy telling me I don't know what I'm talking about. Maybe that's honest. Maybe that's honest. Maybe you're just tired of this. Maybe you're busy. Maybe you want to talk about other stuff. Maybe you're just, But you are being played like a sucker because this one size fits all, these terrorists, these ninjas, who are they? What do they want? They hate our freedom. They want... Stop it. I don't know how to tell you anymore that you're being played. This is about regime change. The New World Order, the Illuminati, the whatever you want to call these people. I call them the ruling class. The people who run the world. Not the BRICS countries, but the usual globalist banksters, the unipolar bastards. These are the ones who want Assad out. And they want you to scream and clamor for his removal. They want you to demand boots on the ground. They don't give a damn about military. They don't give a damn about more PTSD, more death. Because to them, military is just an extension of their power. They don't give a damn about your military, our treasure, our materiel, the bravest and the brightest young men and women who want to go in there supporting their country, defending their country. And we send them into these places. Why? Because of oil. Because of geostrategy, because Assad won't leave. He won't allow us the straight pipeline from Iran to Iraq to Syria to the Mediterranean. He keeps getting in the way. And you keep believing this nonsense about, and you fall for this Russophobic nonsense, this Red Scare, this Boris Badenov, Natasha nonsense about the Russians. You want to kiss the Russians' ass for doing something about ISIS because they were the ones who were responsible, and also learn about Erdogan. Do you understand that? You're going to have to use the internet. You're going to have to pay attention. You're going to have to take whatever, be the reverse bloodhound. When Jake Tapper and CNN and they tell you to go this way, you go that way. Because they're not there to tell you the truth. They're there to tell you what the government wants you to believe. And God bless Donald Trump for coming along and maybe, just maybe, because I'm not holding my breath. I've been disappointed my entire life when it comes to politics. But there's a chance that he might say, I don't need you. I don't owe anybody. The Republicans screwed me. The Democrats sure as hell screwed me. I'm my own person. I'm doing things my way. I want to make America great again. And the first thing I'm going to do by making America great is to stop fighting these stupid battles that have nothing to do with us. Syria has nothing to do with our national interest. Nothing. And do you really give a damn whether the Dow hits 20,000? Do you really care about that? Terrific. Wonderful. Do you think that the people who run the world honestly care what you think? Do you think you're on the same par with them? Do you think you're going to be rich like them and powerful like them? Do you honestly think you're in the same league? You've got to be kidding me. This is the biggest con in the world. Let me just leave it at that. Now, on a lighter note, I know I'm kind of calm down. Gets me very upset. Be honest with him. Very upset about this. This isn't a joke for me. But I wanted to thank you for the great letters you've been sending. And the pictures are just amazing about you watching me. One of my favorites. My wife says more. One of my favorites is a picture of me on a phone on a tree. So I'm going to be putting that up. Thank you. Don't forget to like this. Don't forget to subscribe to this. And don't forget to pay attention and, for God's sakes, research this. And now, as I always beg, beseech, entreat, and importune, comment as you see fit.